Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Bryson, your favorite Pan-African personal trainer and nutritionist. And today I've got a special guest on the channel for an interview. I've got Mr. Quincy France. And today we're going to give you some history about New York City fitness, his personal fitness and health journey, and calisthenics, and just a masterclass in the history that you don't know about. So here we go. Today we're in Harlem in Marcus Garvey Park, and we're going to get right into it for you guys. So could you introduce yourself to the people, tell them a little bit more about yourself and your journey as an athlete in New York City?
Sure. I'm Quincy France Sr. I've been into calisthenics since I was born, pretty much. Since I was able to walk, I was doing push-ups, squats with my family. My family has always been into sports and martial arts. Originally from St. Kitts in the British West Indies.
Okay.
Came to New York in the late 70s. So I went straight to the Bronx, New York, and I was immediately gravitated to hip-hop, played sports all through school. So I'm as old as hip-hop.
Wow,
and I grew up in the Bronx. So Sedgwick Avenue is like not too far.
Wow.
You know, so I like Walali's Park and Park, Grand Siegel Park. Like I actually saw hip-hop being developed.
Wow.
Breakdancing was a big part of my culture coming up and everything else. So I was always into movement. I became a personal trainer a long time ago. Met a friend of mine who wound up being the owner of Calisthenics Kings.
Okay.
George Richardson. So he pretty much met me and said, yo, you're not doing muscle up. And I'm like, yeah, I can do a muscle up. And he said, you're part of the team. And I'm like, what team? And he introduced me to the calisthenic world, which is only 4 teams at the time. You know, Barbarians in Brooklyn. You had bartenders here in Harlem and Calisthenics Kings. We were in the Bronx. And then they had Matrix and MBXA.
Okay.
So that was my introduction to the whole community, and NBXA held their first calisthenic competition in the Bronx at St. Mary's Park. It was the first time I saw calisthenics as a sport. And the first sponsor I seen there was Pushing Weight. They had a tent there, they had merchandise there. So I was immediately like, yo, who's this brand? You know, this is the very first calisthenic competition. They already have a sponsor. That blew my mind. And then find out that Pushing Weight actually made their logo, their first logo. So I kept wanting to be part of the culture, but I was working every Saturday. So I kept missing the comps when they came around. It wasn't that many comps that came around. It was Pull Up Art Jam and MBXA. That was it.
Okay.
So the MBXA one, I missed every single time. I get off work too late. I would show up at the end, get some pictures. I still got those pictures too.
Oh, wow.
But I wanted to be part of Pull Up Art Jam more than anything else because it was the competition, all reps. And I could be the strongest in New York in a sense. Wow. So I told them I was coming back. The year that I got to actually compete in it, I won everything. I won every single event. I told Keith Field, I said, I'm coming back to win. He was like, yeah, I've heard that many years. I came back, I showed him all my trophy. He was like, oh, you're not playing. Who was there? Pushing Weight, also sponsored in that event. So I introduced myself to them. They said, you know, Dave, we see you at a lot of these competitions. You keep winning. I did another event in in Wingate Park. And Pushing Weight gave me a shirt just for winning a competition. It was like, yo, here's your first Pushing Weight shirt, you know, whatever. Yeah. I ain't think nothing of it, but I held that shirt in high regard. Yeah. Because, again, this is the only sponsor that I've ever seen sponsor calisthenics.
Right.
Fast forward, found out Pushing Weight was hosting youth events and speaking at colleges and about health and wellness and everything else. I was already a personal trainer. I connected with them. I did a couple of visits to Bushwick High School, where we just talked about health and wellness, did a bunch of challenges with them, did some mini competitions with them and some workouts with them and just talked to them about health and wellness. And I became the spokesperson for those events for Pushing Weight, which got me into NYU with them at the time. And we got to do the same thing. I'm bouncing around a lot because my history is very vast.
The masterclass is what I'm saying. This is why I chose the right person. That was one question and look at all that you got.
There's a lot. So I'm still breaking out just my brief history with them. So there was a league that was started, and I was a part of it. And I brought Pushing Weight in as the sponsor to create the jerseys for that league.
Okay. After
doing a couple of events with them, we realized that our talents and my time was not being appreciated. So during a meeting, we walked out onto the balcony of the office and had a conversation with each other. And there was somebody else there that was part of this conversation also that decided not to be part of what we were doing. Push Your Weight is a black-owned company. It's owned by a bunch of brothers, some Haitian brothers and sisters. That meant more to me than everything else.